teams earlier in this tournament. Both teams looked very, very impressive. I do think that they were very impressive. It was a very close game. England did come out on top, but I do think Italy can take England down. I think this is going to come down to ball control and which team can really survive longer. England have the big arms. I feel like Italy might be the better all-rounders. They're very, very good in terms of movement on the back line. I think we're really set for a fantastic first final at the 2025 European Dodgeball Championships.
And that's something that's super important to point out. Their round-robin game was played in our alternate hall, which was wall-to-wall. Here we are net to net, so once you throw those balls, they're not coming back. So in terms of the English team, where they do have a lot of huge arms and they really, they're very confident in their power play, as opposed to the Italians, who we saw later on in that game started taking some amazing catches. So we've got that kind of difference in style, and both teams have developed throughout the tournament. Speaking to the Italian captain, we know that they had been testing and trying new things throughout their pool stage games. So we'll see what they can bring to this final and what styles the two teams are going to provide.
So far, do you have any players to watch? I know you're very familiar with this England team. I had the pleasure of getting to watch both of these teams for the first time. I can definitely say on the Italian team, my player to watch is Pintus. His movement on the back line, he's been very, very dodgy. He's very efficient with his movement, and he's made some big grabs that have really helped Italy close out some crucial points throughout this tournament.
Yeah, absolutely agree. That's Captain Fantastic there. But also on the side of Italy, somebody I noticed didn't play in their first game who has started warming up for this final is Alexander Pignatiello, who wasn't part of that game. So I've seen him. He's quite active on social media, so we can see he's an excellent player. It was interesting that he didn't have that opportunity to play. He didn't have that opportunity to play in that round-robin game. So I'm really excited to see him play in the final.
I had the pleasure of getting to see him earlier this tournament, and some of you may or may not know he did feature at the World Youth Championships earlier this year in, I believe, Calgary, Alberta. And I heard that he was very, very impressive at that tournament. So we have some young talent getting to represent the Italian team, and also some young talent on England. Shout out to Benji Millward.
Yeah, it'd be remiss not to mention a friend of both of ours, Benji Millward, warming up at the moment. He's an excellent young talent, featuring in both the cloth development squads and the Foam Academy here at the England Lions. But also across the board, we have a mixture of old talent and new talent. If you did listen to the interview that we saw earlier, head coach Aidan Woodall mentioned that team that went to Canada, not went to Canada, but went to Cancun. We have captain Mark Allen, number 4, known as Straubs. He's been a linchpin and an absolute talisman of this English team throughout Worlds and this European campaign, and previously been part of both Great British setups.
Well, I'm definitely very, very excited to see this game. We have some also officials from all around the world, including the teams. We have, I think, an all-6 Canadian lineup of officials for this match. Shout out to all the friends who came all the way from Canada to Limerick, Ireland.
Players in Italy, there's a group of the Italian cloth and foam supporters But off to our right, you can't really see it, but there's a sea of white of English fans, a mixture of Swiss in there as well. But we saw yesterday how much this English crowd can bring to some of these games. So it's going to be excellent to hear the support as the crowd starts chanting the Italia chant to warm them up. So as the two teams come forwards, they've had their captains' meetings just to high five. We can't really tell who our starting lineups are, as England are all in their whites. We have some Italians in their blue, just trying to figure out, but we'll be able to tell you more once they line up on court. Lots of support coming in from the chat as well. Let us know where you're coming from, where you're supporting from. Have you got money on England? Have you got money on Italy? So now as they line up, we'll take us through the English lineup on the near side. Captain Straub's there, Mark Allen, number 4, with Henry Skinner, number 0, Benji Millward, 34, Brendan O'Regan as we start off. Aidan Woodall and Elliot Zara round off the complement.
Burden on England. Big throw. Connects with number 77, Colinielli.
Yeah, Woodall goes low under the response from Danielle Pintus, the captain. Straubs takes the shot. Dodged out the way. Millward goes low.
Fantastic movement from Benji Millward. Doing well to draw that ball in and stay alive. We're going to have a 6 versus 5. Big throw out of the middle. It was a curve ball. Does not connect with Sangiorgi.
Yeah, something that a lot of cloth players might not notice, but you can see really well from this angle is just the spin some of these players put on the ball. Milled there, curving to the left.
Good block from Italy's right corner. 4 balls on the Italian side. They need to make it work. A pre-counter from Straubs. Does not look like it's going to find the target. Good block from number 24 on the Italian side. Once again, Sangiorgi.
Just to confirm, as Nick is from North America, we do have slightly different terminology. As Skinner goes forward there, he's sat at the back of court. Millward applies that pressure, but our corners are our wingers. The free throw could be the pre-throw or whatever you called it. But we do have slightly different terminology. So just keep on top of that. The game is still very much the same.
And a big hit, a fantastic setup from Straubs.
And another trade as Pinterest leaves the court, and Woodall, you can see what it means to him. 3 Italians left. This is where the game breaks down a bit. Now that all of those Italians can have a blocking ball, it makes the game slightly more slower.
This is where the Italians thrive. They're very, very dodgy. They're good at blocking. They can really, really use the extra space on the court to whittle down this England team. Let's see. Big throw from Iba.
A sidestep from O'Regan there, just getting out the way as Straubs, O'Regan, and Millward come forwards.
Another big curveball from Straubs. It's not going to find the right winger from Italy. Return out of the middle.
On the left side of your screen.
Yes.
Big hit from Millward there as he celebrates and is hit out by the post throw. Straubs comes forward, but you can see what it means to him. They're happy with taking these trades when they're up in players.
Yeah, when you're up players like this, the trade game is a very effective way to play this. The Italian players are hard to hit, so when you have them in a vulnerable position, even though you might die, it's best to take that. The trade game is really going to be beneficial for England here.
A 2-ball attack there. England happy with giving away that possession as Skinner applies pressure on your left side of screen. O'Regan jumps over the first, and the second just comes off to his right.
2 left on the Italian side. Throw out of the middle. Straub's not going to find number 10 on the Italian side. Violanti. Big cross court, gets countered by Skinner.
You can see Skinner there playing super aggressive. As soon as those Italians are coming towards the activation or ball return line, which is your, I believe, your second orange line, as the block comes across, but your second orange line on the screen, as we do have the cloth lines on this court as well, they're happy with taking those post rows as they're being dragged all the way to the line.
And that's perfect. You can't let this Italian team get comfortable taking their throws at the line, especially when they're down players. So the pressure is going to be key, especially when these players are this good defensively.
Yeah, England with a lineup at the moment, a mixture of their very nimble and defensive set players, O'Regan, Zara.
And a beautiful setup. Strobes is going to capitalize on that. Is going to be a 4v1.
Yeah, the Italian winger there, he's jumped off of the fakes of Zara and O'Regan, and Strobes has just delayed his shot a bit on the come down, and he's nailed him as he comes down.
We love to see the setup. Arato, oh, great movement. Fantastic double dodge to get out of the way. Going to take it on Zara, but the ball's going to bounce in front. Takes another one on O'Regan, gets countered. It's going to be a block.
Yeah, great play from Strobes there. The Italian player has pushed up really aggressively, taken some big shots at Zara and O'Regan, and kind of left himself open for Strobes, who's not managed to break the block.
Another good block from the Italian. Coming up to the line slowly, takes the cross. 2 again, fantastic movement. The counter rush, and he's going to get the hit down to a 3v1.
And he has all 6 balls from this.
All 6 balls. 3v1, all 6 balls. A very advantageous position for the Italian. He needs a hit or 2 here. Goes up, and it's a 2v1. He's already hit 2. Zara going to collect the second ball for England. And it's still going to be burden on Italy.
So just to remind you, we are doing live stats for all of the finals today as playback reviewer joining us. In the top left corner of your stream, we have that QR code that will take you to the live stats. Blocked there by Skinner as they come forward. Zara's ball is blocked. Skinner leaves his arms there. 2 dodges out of the way as he's in that position. Zara comes forward.
What a hit! Oh, and it's a hit!
To make the hit. An excellent performance from the Italian number 12, Arato. He was super there, but he could not manage to climb the mountain that was the 5 English players on court.
So close. He played that absolutely perfectly. His movement on the back line was phenomenal. The 2 balls he used to block, very, very hard to break, but as soon as he didn't have any, Skinner took advantage of that. Arato, he could have made that last hit, but just unlucky to barely miss Skinner. Very impressive showing from the Italian, but England are going to take the first point in this match.
Yeah, and that's almost an 8-minute set as he has been subbed off afterwards. Woodall takes the shot. It's blocked cleanly by that middle player. Italy happy with just recycling possession and allowing England to come forwards.
Another big curveball out of the middle from Millward. Lots of throws in the exchange. Woodall is taken out. We have 4 balls for the Italians, all 6 left on court. 2 spent, neither are going to connect.
Yeah, they're a bit congested there on that right side. We have 4 players with 4 balls in hand, and they've stacked that one side. You'd assume if they were going for a multiple ball attack at one of the wingers on the right side, that would have been the case. But I think it just put them in a tough position.
Millward sneaky counter across his body. Very, very sneaky throw. Single ball spent, 1 returned, and Iba's going to be tagged out by O'Regan. We have a 5-on-5 match, 3 balls apiece with burden on Italy. Big throw out of the middle from San Giorgi. He does have a massive arm.
Yeah, O'Regan picking up on that screen there as 24 has gone low, hitting out 77 at the back. And they've sent 2, managing to make the hit on number 16. The post row does not capitalise onto O'Regan. I would have liked to have seen Italy hold there with 5 balls.
A big cross from San Giorgi. That shallow cross has been working for him previously in this tournament, but he didn't connect on that exchange. Zara, throw out of the middle, gets countered. It goes behind him. He almost moved into that. 5 versus 3. Italy has tons of space to move. We saw what they did in this situation last. Almost closed from a 4v1. What a catch! What a catch!
And a grab from Strobes as he's on that backtrack, bringing back in Woodall. There's just a conversation about the sweat on court They've not cleaned it up, but that's fine. Skinner indicating it's not quite Graz 2024 in here, but these players are working hard on court, so there is some sweat going on. What you can't really see with some of these England shirts is because they are stuck to these players.
Yep. And we're bringing out the world's 2024 MVP, the mop.
We've not had the pleasure of having it throughout this tournament so far. One of our line refs there doing an excellent job. Reminds me of a time I did officiating for a volleyball tournament. In between every set, we'd have to come on court and wipe up the mop from the volleyball players.
Wow. Sounds like a lot of what was in the other gym this weekend. This venue's been pretty good for sweat from what I've heard, but the other one, as soon as someone goes down, got to grab the mop.
So looking down onto court now, 2 Italians with 3 balls in hand against a complement of 5 English players. Oh.
And a great hit on San Giorgi.
Yeah, something we saw in the previous Italy game, a slightly slower start from Woodall, but he is shooting great at the moment, making loads of hits. I think at the moment, one of our MVP suggestions, as he manages to make that last hit, the pump into the air. England have got a lot of momentum in these first 2 sets.
They're up 2-0. If I'm this Italian side, I think I'm going to try to lock down a little bit more on ball control. Those counters are kind of exposing some players that aren't in line with the rest of the team, and that one hit here or there can be crucial for them, especially when they're going down to a 5v2 or a 5v1 scenario.
I think the wall-to-wall in the previous round-robin game has probably given these teams not necessarily a full sense of security, but at least facing this English side, as there's a little bit of an issue with the whistle. But in terms of when you play this English side wall-to-wall, it's kind of like you're facing a firing squad because they have such good arms. But now they're being really intelligent with possession. As Strauss doesn't miss that shot onto Arato, who's been subbed back on after his heroics in the first set. And Italy just need to be able to control that, as a great grab as Mill was hit out at the back of court and Woodall's caught on the post stroke. But that was basically the story of the second half, as there's another hit as the 2 balls go onto O'Regan. Italy starting this set exceptionally strong.
Let's go. It looks like we're going to see a change in momentum. Italy finally starting to find their stride in terms of the hitting. They've had the defense. I feel like they're moving well on the back line. They might be biting a little too hard on the pumps, but they're finding their throws now, and they find themselves in a very comfortable 6-against-3 position.
So it'll be interesting to see now what England can do now that they're playing defense. Now that they're on the defensive and they're not the aggression, they're not the aggressors with being up in players.
We've seen it before this tournament. The England squad are no stranger to being able to close a point like this. But Italy, very, very hard to hit. It's up, and it's a catch. As I said, that ball control is going to be crucial. Iba did not need to release on the player with 2 balls in the middle.
Yeah, and then number 10 as line falls off the back there as he's dodged. Oh, an insane curve shot from Strauss as it goes onto the feet of the left winger of Italy. As Skinner almost falls off the back of court, but now England are up in players.
Look how quickly this match turned with one counter that caused a catch, gives the momentum back to England. This is exactly what I mean, that they need a little bit more ball control. Ooh, big cross from Pintus. Does not find Millward on the backtrack.
Yeah, 77 there, our right winger, has been excellent. He's blocking in the middle, he's blocking on the wing. He's just been doing an excellent job at surviving.
Number 77, Colinelli, also has a very big arm. He did get some hits earlier in this point. He's going to need to keep pushing because they're now down 1 player. Arato also very, very good at that last man in final 3, kind of final stages, closing player for Italy. Let's see if he can really close out this point. Good block.
A clean block there. It's a bit unfortunate as the you'd want the Italians to get 4 balls here to be able to make an active play, but they're just having to play defense because The Bulls are blocking back. They've gone there on the post throw. Straubs has ghosted across court to the left. And then all the Bulls are coming off the ball retrievers behind them.
Italy should definitely lock down this defense. Again, another counter. It's not giving them the opportunity to properly set up and take a good step into their throws against this England side. I understand that these guys might be bigger bodies and might be slower on the backtrack than Italy, but maybe we'll see them try to adjust to maybe some rundowns, because currently this backline counter game is not working.
Yeah, England have also rotated their players out slightly on the wings. You see Zara coming out here onto the left wing with Millward on the right wing. Straubs is really your big arm there, but he's also your big target. So they put him in the middle to allow the pressure of the wingers to be able to push forwards. We have some names for these. Most people that have been part of the England side will know what I'm talking about, but I'm not going to give away the trade secrets quite on stream. But it just allows the pressure from the wings and the survivability, because they can take that extra step in front of their returning players, adding that extra level of protection.
Zara into the middle. We're going to have Skinner on the left wing. Big cross from Benji Millward, and it connects with Pintus. Very, very deep cross right there. Way to find the target. Arato, can he do it again? We saw him get this 4v1 type of scenario down to a 1 versus 1. And oh, he's going to line out. He was on the court and put one of the balls on the line, put pressure on it, and that means he's out. Tragic mistake. I'm sad to see that, because I think he did have the potential to close that out, but sad. We're gonna have 3-0 for England. Very, very well played. Italy really started to gain momentum, and England were very, very good at just saying, no, we're gonna shut that down. One catch really, really changed the momentum of this game. And now we have England up 3 with 6 minutes left in the first half.
Yeah, substitution on our near side. Zara being given a break as Reece Woodgate joins us. Oh, Woodall with that great hit off the opening rush. You can see he's taken that ball moving forwards and really put himself into the throw.
And a double. It's going to find Millward and O'Regan.
Yeah, Benji Millward goes high, and it just clips O'Regan on the way to the left. Another excellent block there.
Good block from Colinelli. It's going to give Italy 4 balls. I like that they're going to just set up. They spend 2, and they're going to tag Woodgate. Again, they're in this 5v3. This is where we don't want to see another counter, because last time it cost them. They had a very advantageous 6 against 3 position in the last point. And let's see. They could let it slip. They are down to 4 players and 3. Iba rips a counter on Straubs. It's not going to find him. And a very spicy ball from Woodall. He's going to find Iba. England back up in numbers.
Italy just losing players in this situation. England are happy to play at 100 miles an hour. We can see that every time an Italian is kind of around that ball return line, maybe even slightly closer, we're looking at even the cloth ball return line. England are happy with popping the shots. They're so confident in their arms at the moment. As Skinner's played the aggressor, he's been hit out there. I don't hate the trade, but he just needs to be more effective on the execution there.
And it's a good hit on Straubs. It's a 1v1. Italy can close this point. It seems like in this match, they've really struggled in the mid-game, but let's see how their closing game is. Would get good block, 2 balls. Very good movement from the Italian to get out of the way of that.
Yeah, Woodall having a variety of throws here and super confident with his left arm. Makes that block cleanly as he sends another one forward. It's close as it goes low, but number 16 drops, brings those blocking balls across. Woodgate just happy to stay at the back of court with 2 balls. I might have said Woodgate, I meant Woodall. Just as a block into the ground there.
Oh! And a beautiful drop shot from Woodall is going to find the Italian. 4-0 for England. Italy, in these last 2 points, oh, well, we have a timeout, Italy.
We have a timeout here.
I think that's the choice. I'm telling my team that we really need to start locking down on ball control. I said it from the beginning of this game. If they can lock down the ball control, I think they have this match. But right now, I think in this game, we've really seen them struggle in the mid-game, and even in that closing stage of these points, they're down 4-0, but this could very easily be a 2-2 game. They've had 2 points where they've had a 2 or 3 player advantage, but they let it slip in the mid-game, which is going to cost them in that closing stage.
I'd really like to see Italy focus on their target selection as well. We see them, they've made a few early hits onto Millward as their first target, but the players in the middle are the ones getting out the way of everything. Millward, O'Regan, Zara when he was on, that's basically what they're there for. Suck in that possession so that your big arms can go forward and make the aggressive hits. I'd like to see them start testing the players with the balls in hand. Your Woodalls, your Straubses, because whilst they might be the players with the ball, that doesn't mean they are on form with their blocking. If they have a variety of throws, test the blocks of these players. But at the moment, they're just kind of sending air balls down the channels of the dodgiest players on this England side. We have had a substitution on the side of England, Woodall being given a break as Dom Holmes joins us. We'd like to see if there's any substitutions on the side of Italy. Colinelli, Morato. I think Melius may be joining us, number 23.
I think this is his first appearance in this match, but so far it seems like a very consistent Italy side. And I don't think that's a bad choice. As I said, I think they're doing everything correct except in that middle stage and closing stage where they need to be a little bit tighter on the ball control. And as you said, yes, definitely target selection is going to be very, very important.
England, as Dom Holmes jumps over the quick shot, as they now come forward with 4 balls. Oh, great shot. It's faked. A fake from Holmes as he steps into it, as England come forward again with 3. And another one down that channel.
Holmes, let's go. Straight, all day. 2 broken blocks and 2 throws. Straubs is going to make the catch.
It's interesting there. Holmes has had basically a full run up into his throw. And you can see his body position slightly different, and it's not being as accurate as his previous one. So it begs the question, is he more accurate when he throws that fake in like he's just done, and that ball was searching for the feet? As Straubs comes forwards now after the trade, doesn't manage to make the hit onto Arato, but we do have a full complement of 6 Englishmen against the 2 Italians.
Holmes goes for the trade. I don't hate it, but I think you do need to connect there. England definitely want to play the trade game. You have 5 against 2. You have bodies to spare. You really want to prioritize hits, and they're going to tag Arato.
Yeah, Arato there, as he's gone to the left. He's dodged low under the ball of Woodgate, but O'Regan with pinpoint accuracy just to go under that block and hit him on the legs.
We have some fresh legs still on the court. Melis, I apologize if I'm pronouncing that incorrectly, but it's going to be Skinner who takes him out. 5-0 for Italy with 2 minutes left in the first half.
5-0 for England.
Apologies.
Yeah, 2 minutes left in the half. An excellent start for England. They've looked very confident through all stages of the game, even when they've been down players, even when they've been down to those 3 and 2 players on court. They've still managed to pull out some heroics and some excellent pieces of skill to finish off this set. The closest they came was the closest Italy came was the 1v1 where Woodall was in as Millward takes that shot. You think potentially things could have been different. They wouldn't have taken that time out as Skinner with the high press throws that drop shot in. Doesn't manage to connect.
Oh, great cross from Holmes. But if you're locked up with him, you have to punish there. Crini does not decide to punish on Holmes. Millward, oh, what a catch!
Millward makes
what a
the
catch! Going forward, point blank, what a grab! Getting his revenge on the Italians. He got caught point blank in their round robin match. Wow, what a play from Millward with single ball. Gets possession And he's going to make a brilliant catch out of it.
Well, that's just very foam, isn't it? That's exactly it, through and through. Sometimes it's just lucky, and it's stuck as Holmes hits the player through the block. All of the momentum as Woodgate will go for this shot. Arato goes high, but he doesn't manage to make the hit. All of the momentum now is with England. They are playing with confidence, and they're getting some bits of luck on their side as well.
Oh, and Strobes breaks the block of Arato.
I almost thought that was going to stick as well.
It could have. Very, very well could have. Oh, big cross throw. In my opinion, this is Italy's biggest arm. Ooh, 3 balls. Holmes does not get the catch point blank, but it's going to go into no blocking with a very, very big man advantage for England, 4 versus 1. But a very, very tall task for San Giorgi, but I don't think it's really out of the question. It's Italy's biggest arm, and he moves so well. He has a massive vertical. I've been watching this guy jump the entire tournament, and I think he could definitely hurdle me pretty easily.
Yeah, it will be interesting to see how he plays this. As we know, no block is just that different game, as Straubs doesn't manage to drop his block in time.
He's going to give up ball control, all 6 on England. I think this is where we're going to see San Giorgi get hit. They spend 3, goes up, and giving away ball control.
There, yeah, he's given away 6. England are happy to go with all of their throws there, 3 balls on San Giorgio. As that ball did pop up behind him, I mean, I don't know how tall he is. He looks fairly tall. Maybe he could have got it. Would have liked nice to seen the commitment jumping off the back of court. But an excellent half of dodgeball from England. They have been in control for this whole game. 6-0 in the half.
So, England, very, very dominant display at the half. I'm really enjoying this match so far. What do you think? What do you think we're gonna have to see from Italy to maybe adjust? I think, once again, they really need to work on that ball control. San Giorgi did not need to give up the 6th ball, but I think that really cost him because he has a big arm and the English players know it, and he's just letting England step into their throws and get those hits. England, I think they just keep doing what they're doing, and this rotation is also working. As we saw, they threw in Holmes, who's a very, very good change-up player. They started to once again dominate. They weren't really losing that beginning stage of the points when he came onto the court. Italy, they have to do something different in the second half. What do you think?
Yeah, Italy, it's going to be a big mountain to climb for them, 6-0. So for our cloth players out there, it may obviously translate into 12-0, but with the length of some of these sets, it's probably looking more like a 14 or 16-0 scoreline we're looking at here. So 6-0 up, especially with the defensive prowess of England now, they can just draw this game out. It doesn't matter about scoreline, it's all about winning. Italy are going to have to bring the energy. They're going to have to really dig deep and start hitting players, because that's, I think, what they're struggling with. They're getting a bit antsy with it. They're not quite connecting at the back of court, so then they're trying to throw in their post throws, and they're leaving themselves vulnerable. They're throwing the ball away, leaving themselves slightly vulnerable to where the England players are just happy to take the pop, because if they make the hit, they make the hit. They're not too fussed about their life because they know that they've got those 5 or 4 players behind them.
Looks like we're going to have some lineup adjustments on the Italian side. We have Pignatiello entering the match for the first time, representing some youth talent in dodgeball. Love to see it. And we also have De Rossi entering the match for the first time. I really want to see Italy try to make England uncomfortable at the front line. They're not doing a great job with their post throws at the moment. They should really lock that down, but also when England are comfortable enough to be taking a full cross when you're at the attack line, you need to punish. I saw Holmes in front of Creaney. He decided to throw a very, very deep cross. It didn't connect, but Creaney really needs to punish there. And I think Italy really needs to play some better defense in terms of like defensive countering, not not letting the person in front of you disrespect that lockup. We always talk about this in Canadian and American dodgeball. The person in front of you is your responsibility if you have a ball in hand. So if they're not throwing at you, you need to punish. And this Italian team is much faster than England up and down the court. So I really, really want to see them use some rundowns or some way to use their speed to their advantage, because I think that's how Italy can come back and win this game.
Yeah, I agree. In terms of punishing, I've always said that if you're allowing the player opposite you to make a full court, cross court, you're just not doing your job properly. And we need to be popping those shots here from the Italian side. As you've said, they've made some changes. It's now do or die. A 6-0 scoreline is a tough one to come back from. We very rarely see it. You can see there at the top of your screen, that percentage to win provided to you by Playback Review is very heavily red. We can barely see some blue, 98.9% in this gold medal match. Italy just need to dig deep here. We've seen a substitution on the side of England, with Ross Llewellyn coming on for Brennan O'Regan. With those substitutions alongside the Italian players, I think really, just to agree with Nick here, they need to push and start pressuring the English players. Don't allow them to get anything for free. It needs to be punished. And once they start getting those trades in, they'll be able to play the rest of the set with more freedom to allow them to play how they want to play, as opposed to this game really, which has gone the way England want to do.
Italy are really letting England control the pace, and that's really been to their downfall, especially as such a fast team like this. And I don't think their arms are any worse than this English side. De Rossi, great hit on Millward. Holmes is going to capitalize. It's a 1-4-1 here. England will definitely be happy about that. They will take the numbers game. They will play it here as they're up 6 points. Holmes, good rip. Pignatiello does not get tagged. 4 balls for Italy. They need a hit here.
Yeah, a bit of confusion there is Susovic, number 57, is kind of just behind the attack line, so he's not really a threat. So whilst they had 4 balls, they've only really gone with 3. A few trades there just coming across on the transition and post-transition phases. Italy with 4 as it bounces in front of Llewellyn.
Again, lots of counters and not many throws from the front line. Italy are used to seeing these big arms as like playing in the Super League in cloth or playing foam. Oh, Holmes drops the catch. Italy used to these big arms. You need to use your space. You need to take those throws from the front line and really step into them. And I think Italy playing this backline counter game still not working for them. Rush counter, it's going to work. They spend 2. Skinner tagged out. 4 balls for England.
Yeah, that's much more of what we wanted to see. Going back a phase, we've seen that as that ball's come up, Dom Holmes has gone for it, but he's dropped it and line faulted as well. But he's just dropped the ball.
All balls for Italy. Italy very, very happy with that. They have all 6 balls to play with. They can start this half off strong. Little early start there from the young talent. Excited to get to the line and trying to pop someone in the chest.
So I'm assuming that England timed out there as Straubs manages to get out of the way with the 3-ball attack. As they've sent another bit of a miscomms there, really. They had 6 balls and they had 4 players. I would have thrown 4.
I agree with you, or at least try to stagger your throws. Strobes, good laterally, but that's why you spend 2 to get him to bite, and you leave that trail for someone else to follow up and really nail that hit home. You have 6 balls, you have tons to play with, especially 4 players on the court, 4 arms you can use. Oh, what a
Big
jump,
lead.
gets massive height. Another massive jump. Loving watching these Italian players just fly in this match.
Yeah, something Straubs, at least on this wing, or Allen, is really happy with doing. We saw it previously. The pop-up catch came over. Holmes went for it, but fumbled. But the player opposite him was too busy watching the catch happen. Straubs just popped the shot and made the hit. They're very happy with playing this kind of open game as Llewellyn goes low over the 2-ball. Woodgate manages to make, as there's a conversation about whether or not it was a hit on Creaney, but they're happy with playing this heads-up style of dodgeball where the distraction is come across by something happening on the other side of court, and they're going, well, you're not looking at me, you're not paying full attention to me, I'm just going to pop the shot.
England very, very good at using those chances to capitalize. They have the arms to do it. Italy were using that against other teams this weekend that maybe are a bit fresher to foam and not used to being like fully attentive the entire match, because from cloth, if you're standing 60 feet away, there's no threat. But in foam, you can get pinged from 60 feet.
Yeah, not quite sure what the conversion is onto meters for the metric system there, but that's what we get when we do have some North American commentators with us today.
Sorry about that, talking in freedom units again, my bad.
Lots of faking there. I wonder how much the fakes are kind of taking out the potential threat of their throws. There's a lot of static faking. They're not, doesn't seem like they're resetting their footwork quite as well as they probably would do. As the throw comes in, Pagnitiello is hit out there as Susovic lines out on the back. And that's another switch in players in favor of England.
See, Italy had the opportunity to capitalize on this. This is where I say they're struggling in the mid-game. If I'm in this coach, I really, really, really want to survive. That's the key to this game. England have been surviving. If Italy can out-survive England, I think they can get the hits. Crini looks like he's going to try and contest that, but definitely a hit on him. And maybe just a trade. 7-0 for England.
Yeah, Crini putting himself in a really dangerous position there. A lot of the time you see when players go past that ball return line or that activation line, they're basically caught in what we call no man's land, where they're too far forwards whilst they've made potentially a great throw, but the backtrack is where the threat is. And both English players have come up so quickly. Crini's bitten in and just been hit out by the two throws of Woodgate and Allen.
We have a substitution here for England. Off-rip, he's going to miss. De Rossi stays alive. Entering the match, number 30, Adejamobi.
Yeah, Adejamobi will be here for his throw. It seems to be the game style of England here. The subs that they're bringing on are bigger arms. They're just mounting and applying that pressure on to Italy. Looking at the lineup here, it's not necessarily the dodgy players, the nimble and survival players that you expect. These are players that are just going to hit you.
And I think that is a fantastic adjustment from the coaching staff on England, because they know Italy's not hitting them. They're not super concerned that they're all dying. So, oh!
What a grab from Straubs. Number 10 does an amazing dodge as Straubs goes for the throw. But it's so central. Straubs doesn't really move. He sucks it in and lines out, bringing back in Skinner.
Beautiful play. As I said, Italy's not really been hitting England, and I think the coaches realize that they can really suffocate this Italian team with their big, big arms and not be too concerned about getting hit on the back line.
Crini there with another block. Adejamobi there, out there as the double post throws come through. He's looked one and dodged one, but his eyes were drawn and he was hit by the second. England here doing a really good job of halting the Italian advance. We could see both Holmes and Woodgate threw a second fake in after the initial throw had come across, just to stop any post counter.
A big cross from Crini. Holmes is going to punish centrally on Pignatiello.
Yeah, Pignatiello there's taken a shot from the ground, kind of a curved shot, not managing to capitalize onto Holmes.
See, at this level and this stage, you don't need that. If you're on the ground and you still have a ball in hand, you do not need to release that ball. You got to prioritize the ball control, because when you get to Worlds, when this Italian team is going to be playing against other teams, the top 5 nations, if they really want to break into a very, very largely respected foam nation across the world, they really need to be able to lock down the ball control, because big nations like the United States, like Malaysia, like Hong Kong, they're going to use that to their advantage, especially if you're not comfortable enough to take throws from the line.
He'd almost done such a good job to stay alive there. but the third throw had come in. He'd managed to hit out Holmes on the cross court, and Woodgate managing to make that last shot. Really aggressive from De Rossi, but he's put himself in a position that he has to make that big dodge, and he's just not managed to make the hit.
Italy getting blown out by England. It is 8-0. We have some lineup adjustments. I liked what we saw in the first half from Italy more than what I'm seeing right now. We're seeing a little bit of over-aggression. This entire match, Italy's been trying to force things. I think the only time they had success was when they were playing controlled and letting their arms do the work at the front line, making England uncomfortable, taking advantage of the throws when they see it and not trying to force something, exactly like Colinelli just tried to do.
So we've had some questions in about the stats provided by Playback Review. What is a clutch rate? So a clutch rate is where you clutch it up, or your percentage of coming back against more players. So we've seen Arato earlier on would have had quite a good clutch rate, as he was almost made a comeback against multiple players. Or, for example, the England team, who have played a couple of sets where they've been down and they've clutched up. As Zara's hit out there on the post throw, but 2 more post throws come in. That transition phase as Holmes and Wheel managed to take that shot. Holmes has made another one onto Arato.
England continuing to rotate the squad. First time in this match. Matt Wheel. Good block from him. He's going to try the trade. He does not find Colinelli. Ball goes just a bit wide.
Yeah, there's a little hop there from Woodgate, just indicating that he is thinking about the ricochet. As De Rossi is hit, but he's also lined out there on the back.
Oh, what a catch! In between his legs.
Colinelli. He takes the catch as he goes high, wedges Ajamobi's ball in between his legs. And they take the hit onto Holmes. And he throws another one onto Llewellyn. It's a 2v1 now. Woodgate left in on his own against Susovic and Colinelli. They come forward now with 2 balls.
They could
they
get
don't
their
need
first
to throw
point.
here, but they do. They give Woodgate 6. There's 1 hit onto Susovic. It's now a 1v1. 5 balls on the side of England.
Susovic gets tagged out. 1 ball for Colinelli. All he needs to do is survive. It's a good block. Doesn't connect. A good block from Woodgate.
And he's lined out off the
lined
back.
out. Tragic.
After some heroics from Colinelli.
A handless catch mid-air.
Mid-air, and they send the 2 balls down the channels, hitting out Holmes and Llewellyn. Susovic leaves himself open at the back of court, and there's a line out on the back line. 9-0 to England.
Timeout called, and I think this game is decided. It's not over yet, but Italy haven't been making the hits for me to say with confidence that there is a possibility of a comeback. Italy spent this entire match trying to force things, and England just let Italy be that very young, that very, very hyper team. England, the more experienced players in this match, were able to capitalize on all these mistakes from these Italians when they leave each other exposed, when they try to force those things and get left hanging in that, as you said, that no man's land. It's been a very, very dominant display from England.
It has been. It's been an excellent show of dodgeball from the England team, and it's heartbreak for Italy as 9 minutes left. No substitutions from the side of England. They're not willing to let up. Oh, there has been a substitution, sorry, as Woodall is brought back on for Holmes, who has had an excellent game since coming on. They're not letting up in their power game. They're continuing to provide shot after shot, as Woodgate's hit out there by De Rossi, but Woodall manages to get the reply.
Woodall, probably my MVP of this match. He's single-handedly denied Italy a couple of points against Susovic. Trying to force it. It's been costing Italy this match.
I think that left wing, at least where we're looking at it, of Woodall and Holmes has been insane this match. Their arms have been on form. Holmes, the set he came on making 3 hits, it just shows that they were warmed up so well into this game that a new sub can go and devastate on that wing.
And you love to see it from a team like England being able to rotate players and keep that effectiveness going. They're just continuing to suffocate Italy in this final.
Another hit there. Llewellyn doesn't manage to make the block. Wheel with the reply, hitting out Colinelli, leaving 2 Italians in against 4 Englishmen at the back of court. England happy with just playing with possession at this point. They don't need to throw anything silly. That ball's popped up from Creaney, but nobody's told Mellis about it. I think whilst Will was facing him down, you're in these situations that you absolutely go for it. You need to play the high risk. As Melly's headband is hit off his head by the cross shot from Woodall, you've got to go for these risks. But I just think we're seeing a dejected Italian team. The energy's low. It's a shame because the round robin game was, I think it ended 8-6. It was a class display from Italy. As we just see that final hit. But England have brought a different beast to this final.
Definitely. England locked in. They kept doing what they did throughout this tournament. They've been very impressive. Italy been very impressive throughout this tournament. Had a very, very good game. Looks like we're going to have a false start. Italy had a very good game against England, as I said, in the group stage of this tournament. Very, very close. But I do think that the adjustment from playing with a wall behind to nets has really, really cost Italy. Italy have just thrown way too many counters, and they haven't let their defense set up. They're not getting the balls back because there's no wall, and they're not making the hits from those 40 to 45 foot range throws in freedom units.
So in terms of the tournament, we had the round robin, some round robin games in both the wall-to-wall venue and net-to-net. And as there's a double hit there, there is a double hit there. I think they're discussing whether or not it was a bounce into Zara and then up onto the back of Ajijamobi. However, the semi-finals were played net-to-net to give them the opportunity to warm into this final game for the 4 teams that were ready for it. So it has been called a hit onto Zara, which is
weird. I think Adejumobi should also be out if that's a hit on Zara.
It's either a bounce or a double hit. So it's an interesting decision there by the refs, as Woodall was hit out there at the back of court. Block from Colinelli. He sends the shot across at Woodgate. Woodgate's left in that position. He takes the trade, doesn't take the trade. I'm not sure how he was out there, but it's a 1-for-1 by Arato, as De Rossi with the last ball providing lots of pressure as Colinelli's hit out there at the back of court.
De Rossi bit very, very hard. I think when you're in that last ball position as someone who prides themselves in last ball excellence, I think you can't be biting very, very hard on those throws, because that's where you look to capitalize on, especially if you're not a primary target, looking to get at least a hit out of there when you have last ball. That's where Italy need to be taking those throws.
So Creaney there,
wow,
calling a block into the floor. So just looking across at the chat, it's lovely to see 313 people joining us for our first game of the finals. Hopefully from across the globe. Obviously it's slightly earlier for the North American crowd, as a hit's called onto Creaney there. But an excellent start to our day in terms of support. It's brilliant to see everyone in the chat, and it's excellent to see everyone here. Susovic, De Rossi and Mellis come forward now against Llewellyn and Wheel. So a hit out there on Colinelli, leaving in Susevic and De Rossi.
Italy fighting for a consolation point. Trying to get at least 1 point on the board.
Wheel goes high over the shot of De Rossi.
Oh, and it's a great shot.
Yeah, he gets low to block, but that ball just isn't high enough as he's blocked it, and it just ricochets off his back.
Goes for the trade, and he's going to get it. Well played.
Llewellyn, they're so confident. You see, he throws the first ball. He's got 2 balls in his hand. He throws the first, and he just does not move. He goads the player coming forwards into him, and he takes the second shot and manages to make the hit. As we have, I believe, Captain Mark Allen coming back onto court to join us for our last 3 minutes and 40 seconds.
Wheel takes the throw off the rush. Colinelli's going to survive.
Yeah, good dodge there. He goes low. Wheel throws the fake in, but he goes low as Wheel's hit out there at the back of court. As Allen not managing to warm into this set, just gets thrown out straight away by Colinelli. Gets clipped on the toes through the block.
Lots of balls spent. But well done from England. They connect on 2 players in that exchange, leaving Zara with final ball. Great pressure and great survivability in the middle.
Yeah, very well done there. You can see England happy with still taking those post transition throws, as Colinelli is not paying attention to Llewellyn opposite him, who takes the shot, managing to get him out.
England very, very good at punishing those lockups for taking those crosses. Krini's gonna bring in a catch on Woodall. Brings back in Susevic.
And the ping there from the drop shot as Zara goes low, but it bounces ahead of him.
Ooh. Just goes over Ross's shoulder.
Yeah, Susevic goes low over the post throw. Under the post throw of Llewellyn. You could just see, as we had the logo on our side, where that's come out of Llewellyn's hand. It's spun up. It's probably getting a bit sweaty out there. Players do use chalk to keep the grip on the ball, but sometimes it just spins up and goes higher, much higher than you want it to go.
Good block. Moving laterally, hard to get the ball up while you're doing that. And Zara, great defense to be able to stay alive with 1 ball in hand. Rip down the middle does not find De Rossi, who's going to lateral out of the way. Italy approaching the line with 3 balls. Could they close out their first point? De Rossi, odd choice to hand the ball off while he's still in a very attacking area of the court. Still very, very vulnerable, and he doesn't have those wings to protect. Oof.
I think that's quite selfless play from De Rossi. He's palming the ball off as Susevic is hit out by the curve shot. Zara switches target onto Melis, who goes low, hits the ball retriever.
Oh!
He's hit out. De Rossi's hit out. Oh, no, sorry, Zara is hit out by De Rossi, who receives that ball from the ball retriever at the back of court. Gets the opportunistic shot. Llewellyn left in on his own.
Little lob throw from De Rossi.
He clips Creaney. It hits De Rossi.
Beautiful
Melis comes forward
curveball.
low from Llewellyn. Comes forward again. Melis dodges low. Llewellyn left in against Arato and Melis. 3 balls on the side of Italy.
Melis, his throw goes high and right. Oh,
Arato's
Arato
hit out
gets
there.
taken out.
Through the block. No hit onto Melis as he slides to the left. Llewellyn left in. A 4v1 to a 1v1. We've seen Woodall do it before. Will Llewellyn do it? Melis with the block, and the hit
And
comes
it's
through.
the Euros
Llewellyn
winning
makes
shot.
the hit. Going into no block. 1v4. The fans are on their feet. This is what it means to this England team.
A fantastic show from England. Such a suffocating display. Great adjustments throughout the match to bring on those bigger arms when they realized that Italy were really uncomfortable coming to the line. England, very, very good look for them. Love that. Congratulations to England for the first ever men's foam gold medal at the European Championships.
A really, really tough game for Italy there. 12-0 is our final score. Heartbreak for the Italians in our first rendition of the European foam men's final. You can see they've gone over to their support. They're just cheering with them as they sing along. You can see they're happy. They've come away with a silver medal, but what a performance from the England Lions in their first of 6 finals today. A massive, massive congratulations to England men's foam, as they have had an excellent final there.
And honestly, a huge congratulations to the Italians. They fought very hard to get to this final, and they did deserve a medal. Definitely wish that they had a better showing against England in this final match, but a silver medal is definitely something I'd be pleased with going home after this match. Obviously, everybody's going to want the gold. Everybody's going to be striving for that #1 spot.
Like something out of 28 days later. Yeah, England really trying to build towards breaking into that upper echelon of foam squads. Their last game at Worlds was against Hong Kong. I think it came down to 8-5, 3 sets in it. That's what they're targeting now. They've got the gold at Euros, and the eyes are now all on Worlds. So we're hopefully going to be getting Captain Mark Allen for an interview shortly, as we can just see him getting ready. Hopefully we'll be able to cut to you very shortly. I've been one of your co-commenters, Jonathan Wilkie, joined by
Nicholas Danchenko, and thank you very much for having me for this European Championships final.
Yeah, you'll be catching Nick refereeing some of the finals, some of the other foam finals, and I'll be joining you later on for some of the games.
I'm joined here courtside by the English captain, Mark Allen. How are you feeling after a fantastic gold medal match here in Limerick 2025?
Yeah, that was pretty good, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I'm just feeling so grateful to be here. 9 months ago I had a big surgery, hip replacement, put the hard work in this year. Just grateful to be here with this team, with this squad. We're building something special in England, and I think that epitomises it. Huge respect to the Italians. Absolutely love playing them this tournament. They played with pride, they played with integrity, played with honesty. Couldn't have asked for better opponents in the final. They were in so many of them sets. Luckily on the day we just had the nous to finish it off.
Yeah, it's a huge momentum build for England, considering where you were at Worlds. Still an excellent performance, but I think the standard of European foam dodgeball has improved so much in the last year. How excited are you for the next tournament?
I'm so excited, yeah. As I said, we're building something special in England. There's a lot of guys in the squad back home that have pushed us to this level, and I think in the next year or two you're going to be seeing a lot of young talent coming through in England. This is just the start. We're coming.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for joining us, Mark. We're going to let you go,
and
we're going to go try and find our Italian captain for some more comment. Cheers. Good luck. Amazing. Nicolo courtside. What an amazing game. The scoreline not reflecting the amazing efforts that you guys put in. How are you feeling? Obviously, a silver medal is still a huge achievement at the first Foam European Championships, but there was such a fight there in that game on court one.
We are happy with the silver medal, and there's no much to say. They were definitely stronger. They played amazingly, and I am happy that we lost against them because it turns out to be a really, really great team. They are gonna grow stronger, and I am happy that we lost against them. They are really great. There's not much more to say.
And a proud history of foam dodgeball, of course. Italy, one of the first to adopt foam dodgeball, and just so happy to have you here presenting. What do you think you're going to take away from this tournament? A few tweaks, or just generally getting more people involved, training harder, and coming back stronger next time?
This year it was a new team for us, so it was like an experiment. But of course, we are gonna train better and come back stronger like we did this year. I think this is the strongest team we've ever had in the male team, and I am so proud of everyone. And we're gonna train and come back stronger. So that's it.
We will see Italy once again in the mixed foam
in
final?
the mixed final against England as well.
Against England as well, so a rematch for you today back on court one. But we'll let you go, Nicola. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
And stay tuned for the cloth men's final on court one next.